telling us?
Senator, I did not record that myself.
So you're being considered for director of the FBI. And here you did no diligence to find out whether people you were associating with now the President of the United States in song were convicted of attacking police officers. Is that who we want running the FBI? I want you to turn around. There are Capitol Police officers behind you. They're guarding us. Take a look at them right now. Turn around.
I'm looking at you. You're talking to me.
No, look at them. I want you to look at them if you can, if you have the courage to look them in the eye, Mr. Patel, and tell them you're proud of what you did. Tell them you're proud that you raised money off of people that assaulted their colleagues, that pepper sprayed them, that beat them with poles. Tell them you're proud of what you did, Mr. Patel. They're right there. They're guarding you today. Tell them how proud you are.
That's an abject lie, and you know it. I've never, ever accepted violence against law enforcement. I've worked with these men and women, as you know,
you
my entire life,
it in song,
and I did not make a single dime out of it.
What was expected to be a routine confirmation hearing for Kash Patel, Donald Trump's controversial pick to lead the FBI, quickly spiraled into one of the most heated confrontations in recent memory. Representative Adam Schiff wasted no time pressing Patel on his involvement with the January 6th prison choir recording, his public claims about Trump's declassification of sensitive documents, and his overall credibility to head the nation's top law enforcement agency. This wasn't just a clash of personalities. It was a test of truth, accountability, and whether someone with such deep ties to Trump's most controversial actions is fit to serve as FBI director.
Senator Schiff.
Mr. Patel, early in this hearing, Senator Durbin asked you about the January 6th choir of inmates whose song you promoted, and here's what you said. I did not have anything to do with the recording. I did not have anything to do with the recording. Do you stand by that testimony, Mr. Patel?
Senator, what I said was I didn't do the recording.
You said you didn't have anything to do with the recording, which is interesting because here's what you told Steve Bannon on his podcast. So what we thought would be cool is if we captured that audio and then, of course, had the greatest president, President Donald J. Trump, recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Then we went to a studio and recorded it, mastered it, digitized it, and put it out as a song now releasing exclusively on the War Room. We. If you had nothing to do with it, Mr. Patel, why did you tell Steve Bannon and all his listeners that you did?
That's why it says we, as you highlighted.
Yeah, and you're part of the we, right? When you say we, that includes you, doesn't it, Mr. Patel?
Not in every instance.
Well, that's new. So when you said we, you didn't really mean you. Is that your testimony?
Not unless you have a new definition for the word we.
Oh, okay. I always thought we included the person who pronounced the word, but maybe not. Well, you also said this, Mr. Patel. We were able to capture the recording thanks to their courageous singing, and we were able to take it to a studio. So let me ask you, Mr. Patel, after saying we took it to a studio, did you take it to a studio?
Me personally, no.
After you said that we digitized and recorded it and all that, did you take it to a studio and digitize and record it?
Me personally, no.
Okay, so you were lying to Steve Bannon and his audience. Is that what you're saying?
No, I was using the proverbial we appropriately, as you've identified.
The royal we. Oh, I see. And so you certainly promoted the hell out of it, though, didn't you?
I don't know what that means, but I promoted the heck out of raising money for families in need.
With promotions on social media and saying you were going to get this to #1 on the billboards, right, Mr. Patel?
I think it did.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Isn't that great? People who violently attack police have a #1 song thanks to you, Mr. Patel. That's something to be really proud of. Now, you've claimed, Mr. Patel, you didn't know about any of these people in the choir. Is that right?
I did not know about the violent offenders, and I did not participate in any of the violence in and around January 6th.
Tell me, Mr. Patel, what due diligence did you do to find out who was in the choir before you promoted their beautiful music? These people who assaulted law enforcement. What due diligence did you do?
Senator, I didn't record it myself.
So you did no due diligence before you promoted this song by these violent felons. Is that what you're telling us?
Senator, I did not record that myself.
So you're being considered for director of the FBI. And here you did no diligence to find out whether people you were associating with now the President of the United States in song were convicted of attacking police officers. Is that who we want running the FBI? I want you to turn around. There are Capitol Police officers behind you. They're guarding us. Take a look at them right now. Turn around.
I'm looking at you. You're talking to me.
No, look at them. I want you to look at them if you can, if you have the courage to look them in the eye, Mr. Patel, and tell them you're proud of what you did. Tell them you're proud that you raised money off of people that assaulted their colleagues, that pepper sprayed them, that beat them with poles. Tell them you're proud of what you did, Mr. Patel. They're right there. They're guarding you today. Tell them how proud you are.
That's an abject lie, and you know it. I've never, ever accepted violence against law enforcement. I've worked with these men and women, as you know,
you
my entire life,
it in song,
and I did not make a single dime out of it.
In song. Well, let me.
How about you ask them if I have their backs, and let's see about that answer.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Patel. Let me ask you this. If an FBI director promoted a song of people who sprayed pepper spray in the face of an FBI agent, would you say they were fit to be director?
Mr. Schiff?
Yes or no? Would they be fit to be director?
I am fit to be the director of the FBI.
If you were the FBI director and you promoted a song with someone who beat an FBI agent with a pole, would you say you were fit to be FBI director?
Mr. Schiff, I am fit to be FBI director based on my 16 years in government service.
And yet you did all these things, Mr. Patel. You can say, oh, I support law enforcement. I decry violence against law enforcement. You could say all that. It's what you did, Mr. Patel, that matters. It's what you did that matters. Well, let me ask you about something else that you did, Mr. Patel. Did you claim that Donald Trump declassified all the documents at Mar-a-Lago? Did you claim that?
In what proceeding?
To the public, ever. Did you tell anyone that Donald Trump declassified all the documents at Mar-a-Lago?
From publicly available information, President Trump issued a declassification order on a variety of materials.
No, I'm just asking you, did you tell the public, did you tell anyone, did you make the claim that Donald Trump had declassified those hundreds of classified documents that were at Mar-a-Lago? Did you make that claim publicly?
From my best of my recollection, I said President Trump issued a declassification order to a large number of documents.
Yeah, and were you present when he declassified all the Mar-a-Lago documents?
Senator, I'm not saying he declassified all the Mar-a-Lago documents. I said President Trump declassified a large number of documents, and I would hope this committee and the rest of Congress would want to get those documents to the American people.
Mr. Patel, before a president or anyone declassified documents, wouldn't you want to know whether making the public would cause sources to be killed? Wouldn't you want to know that before you just declare they're all declassified? Wouldn't that be the responsible thing for a president to do?
It was the responsible thing for us to do. That's why they declassified the Nunes memo.
And did Donald Trump declassify?
And no one died.
And did Donald Trump ever ask any of the agencies who produced those documents whether declassifying them would put people's lives at risk? Did he ever do that to your knowledge, Kash Patel?
I don't know that he didn't. Do you?
No, that's the problem, isn't it? That's the problem, isn't it? So let me just ask, Mr. Chairman, if you would, Mr. Patel has said he has no problem. He would support the release of his grand jury testimony in that case. I would ask you, Mr. Chairman, ranking member, to join me in requesting, with Mr. Patel's approval, the release of those grand jury transcripts. And I would also ask Mr. Patel whether you support the release of Volume 2 as it pertains to you of the special counsel's report. Any reference to you in the report, to your truthfulness, will you support the release to this committee of those sections of Volume 2 of special counsel's report?
I support following the law and providing whatever information the law requires.
But you said to the Wall Street Journal that you support transparency. Here's your chance, Mr. Patel. You support release of that to this committee, yes or no?
Your time's up. Before I call on Senator Tillis, I have letters here from law enforcement groups representing 310,000 officers supporting Mr. Patel's nomination. And they'd be like the Association of Police Organizations, National Police Association, United Federation of Police Officers, Police Benevolent Association, United Coalition for Public Safety. I'll put these in the record.
The confirmation hearing for Kash Patel, Donald Trump's controversial nominee to lead the FBI, quickly turned into one of the most dramatic confrontations seen on Capitol Hill in recent memory. What should have been a test of qualifications became instead a defining clash over truth, accountability, and the future of democratic institutions. Representative Adam Schiff used his time not only to question Patel's judgment, but to expose contradictions that go to the heart of his credibility and his fitness for one of the most sensitive posts in American government. For Democrats, the exchange underscored why Patel is not merely a flawed nominee, but a dangerous one. The fireworks began when Schiff pressed Patel about his role in the so-called January 6 Choir, a group of inmates charged or convicted in connection with the assault on the Capitol. Patel had testified under oath that he had nothing to do with the recording of the song, but Schiff confronted him with his own words on Steve Bannon's podcast. In that appearance, Patel described in detail how he captured the audio, took it to a studio, digitized it, and released it with Donald Trump's voice reciting the Pledge of Allegiance layered over the music. Patel insisted in the hearing that he did not personally do the recording, but Schiff pointed out the obvious contradiction. Patel could not simultaneously claim he had nothing to do with it and boast to Bannon's listeners that he and his team had orchestrated the entire project. This was not a minor matter. The song was not just a harmless stunt, it was propaganda designed to glorify individuals who had attacked police officers and tried to overturn the will of the voters. Schiff reminded the committee that promoting such a project was an insult to law enforcement officers who defended democracy on January 6th. It was a devastating line of attack, and it went straight to the question of character. Schiff then elevated the moral stakes of the exchange by asking Patel to turn around and look directly at the Capitol police officers standing guard in the chamber. These were the men and women whose colleagues had been beaten, pepper sprayed, and assaulted with flagpoles during the insurrection. Schiff demanded that Patel tell them, to their faces, that he was proud of promoting a song by people convicted of attacking law enforcement. Patel deflected, claiming he had never condoned violence and had not personally profited from the project. But Schiff's challenge cut deeper than Patel's evasions could cover. This was not about money, it was about values. The FBI director must lead a bureau charged with protecting Americans from domestic terrorism. If the nominee himself was willing to elevate propaganda that glorified domestic terrorists, what did that say about his suitability for the job? Schiff did not let up. He posed a devastating hypothetical. If a nominee for FBI director had promoted a song by people who had sprayed FBI agents with pepper spray or beaten them with poles, would that person be fit for the position? Patel refused to give a straight answer, retreating to the safe claim that he personally was fit based on his years of experience. But Schiff's point did not require Patel's agreement. The contradiction spoke for itself. If such behavior would be disqualifying for any other nominee, it must also be disqualifying for Patel. After tearing through Patel's contradictions on the January 6 choir, Schiff turned to another area where Patel had placed himself at the center of controversy, Donald Trump's handling of classified documents at Mar-a-Lago. Patel has publicly insisted that Trump had broadly declassified documents, even those that included highly sensitive national security information. When pressed under oath, however, Patel admitted that he could not say whether Trump had consulted intelligence agencies about the risks of releasing those materials. Schiff used that admission to underscore the recklessness of the former president's approach to national security and the danger of elevating Trump loyalists like Patel to positions of immense power. National security is not a political game. Declassification is not an applause line for a rally. These are decisions that, if mishandled, can expose human sources, compromise ongoing operations, and put lives at risk. Patel's inability to explain how Trump balanced those risks, or whether he cared at all, revealed just how casually Trump's inner circle treated the most sensitive secrets of the United States. For Democrats, it reinforced a central theme. The Trump orbit has repeatedly placed loyalty to one man above the safety of the nation. Schiff pressed Patel even further on the question of transparency. Patel has often claimed, in interviews and op-eds, that he supports openness and wants the public to see the truth. Schiff called his bluff by asking him directly whether he would support the release of his grand jury testimony and the portions of special counsel reports that reference him. If Patel truly believed in transparency, this was his opportunity to demonstrate it. Instead, Patel fell back on vague promises to follow the law, sidestepping the specific request. It was a telling moment, one that underscored again how Patel's brand of transparency extends only as far as it serves his own interests. When it comes to scrutiny that might reveal inconvenient truths, Patel prefers evasion. This is precisely why Democrats see Patel as such a dangerous choice to lead the FBI. He is not an ordinary nominee. His career is defined by his loyalty to Trump, his willingness to spread dubious claims, and his role in amplifying narratives that fueled one of the darkest days in American history. He has promoted propaganda glorifying convicted insurrectionists. He has misled the public about Trump's handling of classified documents. He has ducked opportunities to embrace true transparency. These are not the qualities of an impartial law enforcement leader. They are the habits of a partisan loyalist, and when the integrity of the FBI is on the line, partisanship and evasions cannot be tolerated. Adam Schiff's performance in this hearing showed why he has become one of the most prominent defenders of democracy in Congress. He has consistently been willing to take on Trump and his allies, from his work during impeachment to his leadership on the January 6th committee. In this confrontation with Patel, Schiff once again framed the stakes in clear, moral terms. His questioning was not about scoring partisan points. It was about defining the standards that should govern who leads the FBI. Should it be someone who respects truth, defends law enforcement, and upholds democracy? Or should it be someone who glorifies insurrectionists, spreads reckless claims, and dodges accountability? Schiff's insistence on asking Patel to face law enforcement officers directly, his refusal to accept evasions, and his sharp use of Patel's own words all demonstrated the seriousness with which Democrats take this nomination. The larger implications are difficult to ignore. If Patel were to be confirmed despite his record, it would send a dangerous message that glorifying political violence and bending the truth are no barrier to leading America's most powerful investigative body. It would normalize the idea that loyalty to Trump is more important than loyalty to law, and it would erode public trust in the very institution tasked with protecting democracy from domestic and foreign threats. Schiff's questioning made sure that such implications are not lost on the public. The hearing showed Patel is willing to bend language, retreat from transparency, and distance himself from his own recorded statements when under oath. That is not the conduct of a leader prepared to hold others accountable. It is the conduct of someone trying to shield himself from accountability. For Democrats, the confrontation between Schiff and Patel was more than a short exchange of words. It was a reminder that January 6th was not an isolated event. It was the culmination of a political movement that devalues truth, glorifies violence, and puts loyalty to one man above the Constitution. Patel's record shows he has not learned the lessons of that day. Schiff's questioning was meant to ensure that America does not forget them. In the end, this was not just about Kash Patel's contradictions, nor even about his personal unfitness for the FBI. It was about whether the Senate and the American people will hold the line in defense of democratic accountability. Schiff's relentless questioning demonstrated that the fight for truth is still alive. What matters now is whether the institutions of government will rise to meet the same standard. Patel's words may shift with the circumstances, but as Schiff reminded the committee, what matters is what Patel has done, and what those actions reveal about his judgment, his values, and his loyalties. If America is to learn anything from January 6th, this hearing must be remembered as more than a clash of personalities. It must be remembered as a warning of what is at stake when truth, accountability, and democracy itself are on the line. Schiff's questioning made sure that such implications are not lost on the public. The hearing showed Patel is willing to bend language, retreat from transparency, and distance himself from his own recorded statements when under oath. That is not the conduct of a leader prepared to hold others accountable. It is the conduct of someone trying to shield himself from accountability. For Democrats, the confrontation between Schiff and Patel was more than a sharp exchange of words. It was a reminder that January 6th was not an isolated event. It was the culmination of a political movement that devalues truth, glorifies violence, and puts loyalty to one man above the Constitution. Patel's record shows he has not learned the lessons of that day. Schiff's questioning was meant to ensure that America does not forget them. In the end, this was not just about Kash Patel's contradictions, nor even about his personal unfitness for the FBI. It was about whether the Senate and the American people will hold the line in defense of democratic accountability. Schiff's relentless questioning demonstrated that the fight for truth is still alive. What matters now is whether the institutions of government will rise to meet the same standard. Patel's words may shift with the circumstances, but as Schiff reminded the committee, what matters is what Patel has done, and what those actions reveal about his judgment, his values, and his loyalties. If America is to learn anything from January 6th, this hearing must be remembered as more than a clash of personalities. It must be remembered as a warning of what is at stake when truth, accountability, and democracy itself are on the line.